Sportscast crew, welcome back to another episode with your favorite host, Mr. ESPN, where we talk everything sports and the business behind it. But before we get started, how you doing, Dub?
Man, I'm good, man. I appreciate you asking me. You know, you don't do that often, but I appreciate you checking in, man. I was just telling you before we went live, this is therapeutic, man. I love this stuff. So, man, another day to talk sports, man. I'm with it, bro. What's the headlines, man?
Well, we got a few headlines for you guys this week, but we're going to start it off. Breaking grounds in the sports world. For those that do know or do not know him, high school sensation Mikey Williams is the first high school player to ever get a contract deal with a major shoe company in high school. Mikey Williams has officially signed with Puma for an endorsement deal to be a Puma athlete. While still obviously playing high school ball. If you guys don't know who Mikey Williams is, you can do your YouTubes. He's a former Bronny James AAU teammate. He's out there playing California. One of the top high school sensations in the nation right now.
This kid is what, like 17?
Yeah, 17 years old.
Where have I gone wrong?
You probably seen him in Drake's new OVO commercial. He was in there. He's been mentioned a few rap songs. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he has a other endorsement deal outside of this too. But yeah, definitely breaking grounds. Man, I this is something that I definitely saw coming, something that's going to transpire in the future, something I've been saying for a while. A lot of these high school kids, due to social media and YouTube and, you know, them having a big following base, college is looking less and less appealing. Especially now, as you can see, he's the first one to get a deal and he's still in high school. So for kids like him, you know, that already has 3+ million followers on Instagram, already one of the top kids in the country, and now he has a deal. If I was him, I'll say, what do I need college for? I mean, look at LaMelo Ball. He didn't go to college. Look at Jalen Green. He didn't go to college, and both of them were top picks in the draft, and both of them playing very well in the league. So
I just wish I was like 7 inches taller, bro.
Man,
you know, I had a shot back in my heyday, at least, bro.
Man, I say this all the time. If God just blessed me to be 6'2", that's it. That's all I need. 6'2". I don't want to be 6'8", 250 like LeBron. Like, just give me 6'2", and I'll work my behind off for the rest. And I don't even want to be a star. Bro, I'll be the 15th
just
man.
Enough. Yeah.
What?
Word. Just enough.
15th man getting $500,000 a year? Good and enough. I get to be in the league? Man, that's good enough.
But yeah, man, shout out to Mikey Williams signing that sneaker deal, man.
Definitely. I definitely see more things like this transpiring in the future. And I'll say this now, you hear it first. Don't be surprised if Nike comes calling next year when Bronny James is a senior for his Nike deal. Just to keep that in mind. But go ahead, Dub. What's our other headlines that we got?
Man, we going to the turf, man. Who they? Them Saints brought back their boy Mark Ingram, man. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, they had both Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara have Pro Bowl years together. That doesn't typically happen too often when two running backs on the same squad. But I like it. You know, I think it kind of gives a little jolt for the Saints back in the backfield. And let's be honest, Mark Ingram was wasting his time with the Texans anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's not too bad for him, man. Let's take it to the diamond, yo. How about your Atlanta Braves?
Finally made the World Series.
Are in the
99.
World Series. Currently are up 2-1. Actually, as we record, they're playing the Astros right now.
Yep.
So you know, we'll see how that turns out. But you know what? I'm a Yankee. However, I'm here in Atlanta. I'm rooting for the Braves, man.
I am too.
I hope they pull it out, man. That would be really nice. I mean, you know, our boy Kenzie is Atlanta everything. So
he's
honestly,
up and down right now.
Yo, I mean, I'm rooting for Kens, man. I am, bro. Like, you know. So look, Kens, the Braves, the city of Atlanta. Let's get this one done.
Yeah, we definitely need to get this done. We beat the Dodgers, who beat us 2 years ago. That prevented us from going to the World Series. Now we beat them. Now we're in the World Series. The city needs it. We need a major sport championship in the city of Atlanta. Atlanta's changing. It could be a start.
You had soccer a couple years ago, bro.
Well, that was last. Yeah, that was 2 years ago, 2019. But it's still not the same. Still not the same. We need, obviously the Falcons failed us a couple years back. Atlanta's on the rise. I still say if Trae Young never got his foot injured, we'll at least been in the finals last year. But this could be, that's debatable.
You're right, it is debatable, but okay.
Atlanta Braves are off to a strong start. I especially want them to win. I actually have a former classmate that plays for the Braves. His mom was my substitute teacher. Shout out to Dansby Swanson, man. Former teammate of mine in basketball back in the day. So that's actually,
you played ball, bro?
Yeah, middle school. I did.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
for 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
I was all right.
What was it?
Yeah, I was all right. But yeah, shout out to him, man. You know, that's just seeing him being in the World Series, and at one point his mom was my substitute teacher, is, full circle. So shout out to him and the Braves. I hope they pull through and close it out, and definitely bring a championship to the city, and then the Hawks will be next.
We'll see, man. But yo, I think it's time we get to the show, man. Today's show, y'all, we're going to center around our man Patrick Mahommes and the Kansas City Chiefs, man. What's really good with these guys lately, bro?
Man, I think the craziest thing, because I think when we, a few weeks ago when we did our opening season episode, we all had Kansas City actually being the team
running away, right?
And now Kansas City is the total opposite. They're under 500 right now, and
sitting pretty there too, man.
Yeah, and they're not looking like the biggest threat in the AFC right now, at all.
Right now, Patrick Mahommes' Head and Shoulder commercials are looking better than his play.
Performance, yeah, on the field.
And that's not good. I mean, with an offense with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, you just kind of expecting the same thing we've been seeing the last 2 years or 3 years straight. They went to the Super Bowl or something like that, and right now it's not good. It's not good at all. Patrick Mahommes is just turning the ball over. And the defense lets the offenses do whatever they want.
Yeah,
regularly. That's been going on for a little while now. But we just kind of gotten used to Pat Mahomes making up for everything that the defense is lacking. And it's not happening this time. Clyde Hilaire's had some fumbles. The offensive line, they went and revamped our whole offensive line, literally all 5 of them, and they giving up a lot of pressure. A lot. Patrick is still on the run, still from the Super Bowl from last year. He was running then, and he's still on the run. He's making. But the thing that's most mind-boggling about what Patrick Mahommes is going through right now, he's reminding me of the end stretch of Carson Wentz in Philly.
Oh, okay. Break that down.
I'm gonna break it down. There's some things that are just straight bonehead, bro. Just knucklehead. What are you thinking? The thing about Patrick, he has tangibles that you can't coach.
Correct.
That you can't teach. And I think he overly relies on the fact that he knows he can make any throw, or he's mobile enough to get away from, certain defenses or whatever. So sometimes he's just he's taking a sack. And this is what I was seeing in Carson, in Philly. Towards the end of that, when he was playing his MVP really bad. Season. No. I'm talking about when he was playing bad.
Okay. So
after all that,
yeah.
And it's there's some guys that don't understand when to just take a sack. I know you don't want to lose 8 yards, but running backwards and ending up losing 24 yards, or just launching it in the air where it's accessible to anybody is not going to help you either.
Correct.
Even if your guy does catch the ball for some reason, when you just toss it up, he ain't going to get much places. You just put him in jeopardy, of getting hurt. And point blank period, most of the time when you just toss the ball up like that, it's probably going to end up in a defense's hand.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I make that comparison to Carson Wentz. I know we don't want to say that because that second half of Carson Wentz's Philly career was really bad. And, we don't want to say Patrick Mahommes is that bad, but it's
getting there.
It's because he's just not protecting the rock. You got to protect the rock like it's your rock, like it's yours. It is only for your team. You got to do everything in your power to keep it. And I think Patrick right now is kind of playing on a low key boneheadish level. Like I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think Pat has fell victim to his gift and curse. The first 3 years, Pat Mahomes, I think that's the thing what wowed us and why everybody loved him was if a play broke down, he was able to come out of that pocket and make really what we can honestly say miracle throws.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, and you know, it's crazy because 2 years ago, I said this. I was like, man, I love Pat Mahomes, don't get me wrong. You know, definitely one of the, my favorite quarterbacks playing in the league right now. But I asked myself, how long can he keep doing this? How long can he keep making these sidearm throws? How long can he be making these, broken down plays and throw it 60 yards and Tyreek Hill, let's be honest, bail him out at times. And I think the worst thing was he won a Super Bowl kind of doing that. I mean, he admitted it. He didn't know how to read defenses that well. He's learned that now. And if you look at his tape, a lot of the plays that even that 50 touchdown season he had, a lot of those plays were broken plays. They weren't, systematic plays. It just, he was so phenomenal. And don't get me wrong, I think that's why we love him so much because it's like watching magic on the field. But
I mean, let me cut you off 1 second. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of broken stuff, but he wasn't turning the ball over. He was making things happen. So he would have like 50 touchdowns, but only like 7 picks or something.
Correct.
So,
but it's caught up to him now.
Yeah.
Now he's in year 4. Those miracle plays are now getting tipped and turning into interceptions. And I think defenses, honestly, are starting to catch up. They definitely have tape on them. They're kind of used to, the what we call backyard football plays that he makes sometimes. And now they're not turning into first downs and touchdowns anymore. They're turning into deflections and interceptions. So I just think he's in a little rut right now. Obviously, it's the first half of the season. Still have another half to turn around, but at this current moment, if I was, Andy Reid and that quarterback coach, I'm going to have to sit Pat Mahomes down and say, hey, look, yes, you have a gift. You have a great arm.
Get it together.
But let's scale back and, let's get back to the fundamentals of football.
So I'm looking up some stats right now. I mean, it's what, week
7?
7? And Patrick Mahommes has 9 interceptions.
Jesus.
The 18 touchdowns is cool, but 9 interceptions to this point. That means
in his first 3 years, he probably had
9 total. So it's a lot of underachieving we got going on in Kansas City. I don't know what it's gonna really take for Patrick to kind of turn things around, but he better get it going because right now, I mean, the Chiefs are they gonna make the playoffs, bro?
Well,
they're in a division with the Las Vegas Raiders,
who's playing well,
the Los Angeles Chargers,
who's playing well,
exactly, and who am I missing? Chargers, Raiders,
Chiefs. Chargers, and
Broncos,
yes.
and the Denver Broncos. So,
who you can't, depending on the week, might not can sleep on them.
Yeah, you can't sleep, but the Chiefs are last in the division right now.
Yeah,
they're last.
Well, they tied with Denver.
Well, yeah,
3-4.
And I think who's leading it? The Raiders or the Chargers? I think the Chargers.
The Raiders are leading at 5-2, and then the Chargers are 4-2.
And oddly, the Raiders have been playing better since Gruden left. So actually, that's one
that helps.
And then the Chargers, y'all know, got like my favorite young quarterback right now, and Justin Herbert. I think they're gonna do pretty well going forward. The Broncos, I'm not really too worried about what they're going to do. But right now, it looks like Patrick Mahommes is going to, for the first time, miss the playoffs. All he knows so far, like his first year, he lost in an AFC championship. Remember that? Mm-hmm. That terrible offsides by D Ford when Tom Brady threw the pick. So they lost to the Patriots in the AFC championship. And then after that, they went to the Super Bowl, beat the 49ers. Then they went to the Super Bowl again and lost to Tampa. And now this time you're going to tell me Patrick may not even scratch wild card?
That's crazy. And what's crazy about it is because, I think because Pat has so much early success, he went to 2 Super Bowls back to back. People even started saying, yo, he has a great trajectory if he stays healthy. Obviously, we know he's locked into Kansas City for the next decade with that contract.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes to 5 out of 10 Super Bowls, he got one already. He has a good chance. If he wins all 5, he has a good chance to catch up with Brady. But now, the look of it, I think he's the best and worst thing that happened to Pat Mahomes was he's now coming back down to earth. He's looking human again.
He's looking vulnerable, man.
Yeah. Like he because he came out the gate, not only he played well, he was doing off the chart things numbers. So we put him in a stratosphere of his own, and now he's coming back down to reality. And again, Pat Mahomes definitely still one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He still can, have a great year. He can turn this around, but I think, like I said, I think what Pat Mahomes have to do is, okay, you got to cut it out. You can't be doing these magical plays. You got to play football, and he has to get out of his head. Even though you probably could break free and throw it sideways for 45 yards, like you said, take the sack, throw it away, take the next down. And that's what, those are the things he has to do. Also, I think Pat Mahomes needed to just settle in. I think sometimes he'd be a little too anxious. He'd be forcing it. I know you got that big weapon, Tyreek, and you got that big safety net in Travis Kelce, and obviously you have no weapons after that. But there's times he'd be even forcing it, Tyreek, and I'm like, man, like, why don't you chuck it down right and try to go for the big play for 60, 65 yards? Go get the first down. And then work the rest of the drive from there. So right now he's just playing. He's overplaying his hand. He just need to take a step back, and after that second half of the season, turn it on like we know he can, and he can turn this thing around. But he has to turn around fast because as of right now, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're in the 11th spot in the AFC.
And you know what's the most what bothers me about it? Like, okay, so I've seen who I think is the most talented quarterback ever, Aaron Rodgers, right? I've seen a couple years back where the Packers were struggling, and Aaron Rodgers was in their interview, and he just told them, "Relax."
Yeah.
And he told everybody, "Relax, we'll be all right." But when he said it, I was like, he's right. They're gonna be fine. He's gonna.
I can trust this.
Yeah, I trusted Aaron Rodgers, and they did turn it around. They made it far in the playoffs or whatever that season.
That's crazy.
Right now,
that's true.
And let's look at it again this season. Remember Packers' first game? They got
killed,
destroyed by freaking Jameis Winston and the Saints.
Yeah,
and there was like no panic. And now they haven't lost a game since. They're like 6-1. They just beat Arizona on Thursday night.
7-1.
7-1. Yeah, something like that. There's panic in Kansas City. I don't see them for some reason. Like when Aaron Rodgers was going through that, like I was like, yeah, I believe him. They're gonna be all right. They still gonna make the playoffs. They still gonna, they still gonna be a threat in the NFC. Right now, I have kind of lost faith. I think Kansas City put themselves a little too far back
in the hole.
In the hole, and I've kind of lost faith because it's not like the rest of their division is just buns, like they're playing well out in Oakland. They play, or not Oakland, Vegas and LA, like, so, Here's
another thing too. There's one team that shocked the whole AFC that everybody has to contend for now too. Those Cincinnati Bengals. So they're taking somebody's spot in the playoffs also too.
They are.
And yeah, they're not in the Chiefs division, but now you have to account for them. They're taking up a spot.
Mm-hmm.
So
right now they look like
they're the number one.
Win their division.
Yeah, not only win the division, they're the number one team in the AFC.
In the AFC, yeah, that's true.
So obviously, in the beginning of the year we had the Titans, Bills, and Chiefs at the top of the AFC. So we expect, okay, that's 3 out of the 6. But now that Cincinnati's in the picture, Vegas Raiders are in the picture. You're like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
You still haven't talked about the Ravens. You still got the Chargers. You got the Browns. So
yeah, there's plenty of other formidable teams.
Exactly. So like you said, you're absolutely right. If it's funny because the first game 2, game 3, game 4, I was like, okay, they just had a slow start. Yeah. Now I'm like,
it's panic time. It's time to press.
I'm biting my fingers like, yo, they might not.
So let's just answer the question, Vlad. Let's just answer the question right now, based on what you've seen. Is Are the Chiefs making the playoffs?
That's tough.
Yes or no?
That's tough.
Are the Chiefs making the playoffs, man? You want to look up their schedule?
I'm looking at the schedule. They got the Giants coming up on
That's
Monday
an
night.
L.
They got the Packers. That might be an L. They got the Raiders. That might be an L. They got the Cowboys. That might be an L. Then they got the Broncos. Then they got the Raiders again. Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Broncos. The Chiefs might not make the playoffs.
So you're saying no, they will not make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Because I'm saying no, they're not going to make the playoffs. So now let's take a little of the spotlight off of Patrick though. When do we start to look at Andy Reid? When do we start to look at the execs?
I wouldn't say Andy Reid because he's doing what he has. I think again, what Pat Mahommes and the organization failed to do was they fell in love what worked for that time. And I see it. I mean, shoot, they went on probably one of the best 3-year runs.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But now it's year 3 going to year 4. And we've seen this in all sports. We've seen this in basketball too, even with the big 3 teams. You gotta, because everybody tuned up this year in the NFL. Cincinnati got better.
But so did the Chiefs. They had a major issue on the O-line last year, and they addressed the hell out of that.
But the other biggest factor for them was that defense.
Jesus.
And we know that, yes, that O-line needed to be fixed, and mostly at the ends, the right and left. They got that fixed. But ever since, because you know what's funny? The defense was a problem last year.
Yeah, it's always been a problem. Yeah.
The offense was really a problem when their tackles went down injured going to the Super Bowl. Because I honestly believe their tackles was in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl might be a little different last year. But the biggest concern even last year was the defense. But because the offense played so well at a high level, it overshadowed. But they had defense problems last year. Now the defense is just really getting exposed this year. It's like, they just come them naked. Like, hey, y'all got to come out the closet now. So the organization going to have to do some things. And also, too, yes, you got Travis Kelce. Yes, you got Tyreek Hill. You got to get some other weapons around. Because we know where the focus is now. It's not a secret now. We know you want to throw it to Tyreek 10 times out the game if you can for $150, 200 yards if you can. And then we know the rest of the touch is going to Travis Kelce. They're going to hound on that. They're going to, focus on that. Start developing a running game. Start developing some slot receivers that can get you those touches on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 to get you some first downs. And spread the ball around. That's the only way I can see the Chiefs elevating. That's something the organization has to do, especially, again, you have Pat Mahommes on the contract for 10 years.
That can come back to bite them. So, I find it like, I always thought part of the problem, like, let's go to Seattle real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like Russell makes so much things happen that they never made that roster around. Like after that Legion left, the Legion of Boom left, like they never gave him that roster because they just think he's gonna find a way. I think Aaron Rodgers is a victim of the same thing in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And to this point, they've never drafted a receiver in the first round.
Yeah.
So
true.
that means you are expecting Aaron Rodgers to just make it happen.
Yep.
And I think Patrick is going to be another victim of that same kind of thing.
Tom Brady, even to an extent too.
Because, that offense, like you just said, I mean, Tyreek, of course, is a burner. Nobody's running with him. And Travis is the best tight end. But, hey, we can get another receiver that will be dominant. And specifically, we need to get some defenders. Because, and then even our top defenders are not even playing and having the greatest of seasons. No. Tyrann Mathieu. He only has 2 interceptions to this point. Both of them were in the same game.
Chris
Jones only has 2 sacks to this point. And everybody else is pretty much mediocre at best. So, it's time for somebody somewhere
shake some things up. Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I don't know if I need to go after Coach Reed to try to get something more out the players, or if I need to go to the big dogs and just go get new players. But Patrick Mahommes' contract is probably not going to help. And specifically his skill set may not help because like I mentioned with the other quarterbacks, they just see so much magic happen out these guys. They're like,
he'll figure it out.
He'll find a way, and That's not always the case.
Different curse.
But with that being said, also, well, lastly, I guess you want to just say,
but like I said, he's came down. Like he was in a whole nother galaxy because, we talk about Aaron Rodgers, but we never. What Pat, man, like I said, those 3 years, what Pat was doing was, it was just like, what the hell, like. He was throwing left. He was throwing right. He was throwing pitch passes. He was throwing sidearms. He was running.
The no looks.
Throwing for 50 touchdowns in your second season, but first year as a starter. Huh?
Yeah.
He was unhuman. But now, you've come back down to planet Earth. And,
defense is kind of got an idea.
Because there's a lot of tape on you now. You've had deep runs. So they've seen 20-something game seasons of you now, for the past 3 years. So there's definitely tape on you. And, it's far from over because Pat Mahommes is still very young. Again, he still has a high ceiling to where he
can... yeah. I mean, ain't nobody ending his career. Yeah. That's not it. We just think we're just focusing on this season. And it's looking kind of...
Yeah. Now it's the year of... what he said has to come true. Get in that film room, break down film, break down your weaknesses. Because Pat Mahommes does have weaknesses. Even how great as he is, he does.
Everyone.
And break down your strengths. And also, too, probably sit down with your offense and say, all right, guys, you know what? We've been playing this style of play for 3 years now. Now, let's try something else. Let's shake it up. Get somebody off guard. So, I will honestly do that. Maybe talk to some receivers that nobody really thinks about. Say, hey, yo, let's put some plays in for you because they're not thinking you're gonna get the ball. They know Tyreek is. They know Kelsey is. So, let's run some plays with you. And, it's funny because that's what Aaron Rodgers did. He developed outside of Devontae, all these guys, Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb. Nobody knew who the hell they were.
Right.
But they made the right play at the right time. It was the big play of the game. And now they're seasoned vets and they're cemented with Aaron Rodgers has a tandem and they made runs throughout their career. So this is the time. Same thing. Tom Brady's done the same. Even though I don't like Tom Brady, but I got to give the guy credit. He's developed guys that was a no-name at some point. So this is the time to see the leadership.
Randy Moss.
Well, outside of Randy.
I'm just playing.
But this is the time for the leadership part of Pat Mahomes' show. We know you the athlete part. We know you got that. But now it's the leadership part. Can you take a team that's been beat down for the first half of the season, that your main weapons are not playing off the charts this year like they usually are? Mm-hmm. Can you elevate your team to another level and not just elevate yourself? That's when we know Pat Mahomes has taken a step in his career. And that's the only thing he really needs to do. I guarantee the the interceptions go down, the bad plays go down, and maybe the Chiefs can turn around. Even if they don't make the playoffs, maybe they still end the year on a high, and then they come back next year and Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? I mean, having a mediocre, below average, or underachieving type season, and you kind of rehumble yourself. Instead of, lately they always have the 29th, 30th pick of the first round, maybe having like a mid-round
15,
pick. They can get, I mean, I hate to already be looking into the future, but honestly, I don't have much faith that they're going to make the playoffs, so they might as well. Exactly. But you could possibly get a big possession receiver to go alongside Tyreek,
which I think they need better.
Or maybe get some elite linebacker. I don't know who's coming out this coming season, but they could probably kind of revamp how they do things, with the expectation and hope that next season we go back to the Super Bowl runs and being the team to beat of the AFC and all of that kind of jazz.
They definitely need this. Sometimes when you have a high level of success all the time, you need that little adversity.
You need to get slapped in the face real quick.
You need to.
Yeah.
To just readjust. Everybody needs it. All the greats done it. Michael did it. Tom Brady did it. LeBron done it. Pat Mahomes. Even Aaron Rodgers did it throughout his career more than once, actually. So this is the year. This is the adversity year. Now we're going to see what you made of, though. Can you come back the second half of the season? Or maybe that's not enough time. Maybe just come back next year. You come back stronger, sharper, and the Chiefs are hitting on all cylinders. And then, because I think he has a great chance to be MVP next year.
We thought he was going to be this year.
This year, yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't look like the case.
It don't look like that's the case. But I'm like, that's how good I think, he really can be. Like, I know it's super, 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 super early. But I'm like, yo, take that all season. I honestly tell you, if I was Pat, maybe by week 10, if I'm like, okay, it's a far stretch to make playoffs, I'd be like, you know what? Let's shut it down.
Nah, you can't shut it down. You can never shut it down.
No, not shut it down like take me out, but shut it down like, all right, you know what? We're going to play the rest of these games. We'll see what happens. We don't make playoffs. We're good, whatever.
I can't co-sign that kind of mentality. At the end of the day,
no. You still play and you compete. No. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if by week 10...
You play to win the game.
If by week 10, you're not in that 8, 9 spot, you still compete. You try to make... But, if all right, there's a possibility we're going to fall short, cool. Have an early off season. You haven't had one in 3 years. And retool. And use that off season to come back a total different beast. As an individual and as a team. That's what they need. They need a retooling. Just a tweaking. They don't need I don't think they need to blow it up. They just need a 3. This is year 4. Yeah, it's time for a little tweaking.
And you know what? I mean, it could be true. This O-line, they were all brand new. So, maybe an off season playing together, kind of get the running game back into form. Because I thought Clyde Helaire was an excellent pick, and I think he's a really good back. If he just holds the ball a little better, go to the running game. It's not going to kill you. It's not pretty. Nobody wants to see the running game, especially when you got a talent like Patrick Mahommes behind center.
Get those 400 yards.
Like a fan like me, I'm not going to lie. I don't really care to see them run the ball. Mm-hmm. I want to see them bombs to Tyreek. Like, those are entertaining, know. But, it's a lot of things you might as well just kind of, figure some other forms of your offense. Unfortunately, though, this weekend, they're not going to win either. You got to play my New York Football Giants. You know how that's going to go.
You guys signed Aaron Rodgers? I figured that out. I didn't know.
Bruh, Danny.
Oh, God. Danny Dimes? That's what you going to say?
Danny Dimes. Hey, God. Look, man, we had a pretty dominant win against Carolina, who I actually liked. So I'm like, hey, let's keep that momentum. Maybe if we keep that energy and Kansas City keep that energy they had with Tennessee last week.
Y'all got a good chance.
We got a chance, bro. Monday night, showtime. Everybody going to be watching. There's nothing else to watch on a Monday night. So, come with it, Patty. I'm ready. My defense is ready for you. We about to
you know y'all going to Kansas City.
I don't want to say some Kens type shit, but we about to be in that ass, but
Pat Mahommes, this is the week to definitely turn it around. If there's no other week on your schedule, this is the week to throw for 500 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Oh, disrespect.
Right. Yeah, turn it up. Turn the fire all the way up.
Okay, my man. Okay.
Turn it all the way up.
You know what? All right, well, speaking of Danny Dimes, speaking of Patrick, we got a lot of stud young QBs, man.
Yes.
We got Justin Fields and we got Herbert out in the Chargers. We got Kyler Murray and the Baker Mayfields. Man, I forget about Deshaun, to be honest.
I know.
Yeah, I need to see you on the field.
2 years ago, he was like the second best quarterback in some people's eyes playing at the time. But now it's like, dang.
But we got the Lamar Jacksons, the Joe Burrows. Yo, right now, who's that guy? Are we still taking Pat as that guy based off of what we've seen? We still got to go with Pat, right?
Still going with Pat. But I said this in the opening episode, and I'm going to say this again. I know he gets a lot of knock, but that boy Kyler Murray is coming.
He's playing well.
I know he gets a lot of heat for his size, and he gets a lot of heat.
If there's somebody that plays erratic, boy.
That's Kyler Murray.
It be working, though, but Kyler be
and it helps that he does have weapons now.
Oh, yeah, he has weapons. That's not the issue. But and to me, though, what I've seen so far, it seems like the plays where he stays in a pocket and Those are not his best plays.
No.
It's when he gets to run around for 7 seconds
and fling that ball.
And yeah, because you can only cover for so long, and then somebody just next thing you know it's a 40-yard pass down to DeAndre Hopkins or something.
Yeah,
and
but he has heart. I give it to him. He's a competitor.
Yeah, man. Kyler is no taller than me, man.
And I'm sorry for him. He could have won that game against Green Bay if AJ Green was just on the same page as him.
Yeah, that was a very winnable game.
Very.
I mean, at the end of the day, they lost by 3, so obviously it was it clearly came to the last minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So I guess
I'm taking Pat.
Let's take Pat out of the conversation.
Okay.
All right, because it is hard to not say Pat. All right, so yes, I know he's one of those young QBs too, but let's just go in a different direction. Would you go Kyler Murray?
I like Kyler, but if I'm really going after Pat, I gotta go with your guy Justin Herbert.
That's my guy, man. I
like Kyler, but I can't put Kyler over Justin.
But
I can't put him over Justin.
You know I love me some Justin Herbert. Don't get it twisted. But somebody is starting to somebody is starting to catch my eye. Like I'm going out of my way to go watch Cincinnati. To go see Joe Burrow and see what he's up to.
Because got them weapons now. Jamar Chase ain't no.
Oh, he's loving Jamar Chase.
Man.
He got his guy. Oh man, he's good. He's straight money.
He's happy.
I love their receiver set actually. They a bunch of young guys that
I very underestimated that team.
Very.
Yeah. Joe Mixon.
They play really good defense. They got Joe Mixon back there. They got some studs, man. Don't sleep on their tight end either. I know Mykins would love them tight ends, bro. But CJ Uzama out in Cincinnati. Kens, if you don't know about him already, I'm sure you do. But yo, that's another tight end for you, bro. But yeah, with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Burrow got some weapons, man. So I'm a big Justin Herbert guy. That's my young QB. That's my guy. That's the guy that I'd be like, yo, come have dinner at the house.
Justin Herbert, yeah, he's here for a long time.
But Joe Burrow, and I get it. He should have already been on our radar. He was a Heisman winner. He was a number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
He's a national champion. However,
we didn't think he was going to
blow up. He spent a lot of time hurt in his first season. He took an ACL.
It wasn't a long time. It was towards the end of the season, but it was honestly he had a decent rookie year.
It was mid-ish, but I can't remember.
But let's be honest, if Chase Young didn't knock him out, he had a pretty decent rookie year.
Yeah.
Even without the weapons.
It was going well. But I guess the problem is it was Cincinnati. It was Cincinnati, and nobody cares about that place. So
you got them back on the map now.
Yeah, like you said earlier, they leading the AFC right now. Literally, can you believe if the playoffs started today, we'd literally be saying Cincinnati has a bye week in the first week of the playoffs?
That's crazy. That's one thing. I'll be honest,
where they do that at?
I'll be honest with you. I did not see that coming. When we talked top teams going into this year, Cincinnati was not on my radar, even for a dark horse.
Nah, not at all. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think I had Cleveland winning this division.
Yeah,
not even did. Baltimore.
And Cleveland is not even one of the top 3 teams.
Yeah, I think I had Cleveland win the division, but yeah, obviously there's plenty of time for Cincinnati to still fail, if they're going to at all.
Your favorite saying, young teams always find a way to lose.
But
that's Doug's favorite term.
Man, it's like they gotten so used to losing that when they have a chance to finish a game, they just
it's
choke.
going to happen.
They don't know how to do it. But you know what? I'm hoping that's not the case with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Cause I really enjoyed them, man. I like what they did. They went into Baltimore and put on an absolute clinic.
They did.
Jamar Chase went for over 200 yards. CJ Uzama had 2 touchdowns, about 100 yards himself. Joe Mixon had a touchdown. Even they backup Samaje Perine, he had a touchdown himself. It was nuts. I think Joe Burrow put up his career highs as well in that game.
He did.
And you thinking, oh, they going to Baltimore, Lamar Jackson about to put on a nope.
Nope.
Lamar played okay too, but Joe Burrow was the.
And another thing about Joe Burrow, I gotta give him, even though I don't like them LSU boys, he got some poise.
Oh, he be chilling, bro.
He got some poise. He looked like I belong in the league as a rookie. Well, not rookie, but second-year player. He's looking like, yo, I belong here. He's definitely sitting in that pocket like, yeah, I've done this before.
Nah,
So,
yeah, he's really good. He's really. What about your guy in Chicago, man? I haven't heard you talk anything about your Ohio State man yet.
I mean, it's a slow start, but I mean,
slow.
It is, but
we told you before the season even started. We was like
that
schedule is not going to be in his favor.
It's not. And
he just got blasted by Tampa,
and he does play for Chicago, which we know it doesn't. It's not a quarterback.
I tried to tell you.
But hey, it's rookie
but
year.
Look, you just said Chicago's not a quarterback franchise. Jig tried to tell you Ohio State is not a quarterback college.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's still early.
It is still early. But I just feel like by like, oh, man, I just feel like there's signs I was supposed to see already. You know, I have the same issue with Tua in Miami. Like, I haven't seen those signs yet.
Tua might be out.
I mean, yeah, it looks like he's in trade talks. But I mean, he had a pretty big game against Atlanta on Sunday. But
that's Atlanta. Everybody does. Jalen Hurts had a big game against Atlanta.
Chill out.
Atlanta's the team to break records against.
Anyway, Ken's, I'll let you handle that one, bro. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, I understand when they're young players, but you know, Justin Herbert is a young player, and I saw signs quick. Joey B, young player, I saw signs quick. I'd even say the same with Baker. I saw some signs quick. Like, you know, Kyler. I mean, you know, and Justin, come on, give me something. I don't even know if he's thrown for 200 yards yet. Like, I mean, I get it. Maybe you don't have elite weapons everywhere,
but they're a running team. You know, that's how Chicago.
I don't want to hear it, bro.
They're defense and running team.
You got Allen Robinson. You got Darnell Mooney. Moody. You know, those are two pretty good receivers. I understand you got a running team, but come on.
Right. I agree.
Come on, Fields. I only got so much patience. Look, I have Danny Jones, bro. I only got.
You got patience for him. You got patience for anybody.
And look, he's starting to play well, but he's taking too long to get there. Like, he's really taking too long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look, I was trying to draft a quarterback at his second season, bro.
Jesus.
Yo, we about to wrap this show up, man. Kill us, bro.
Well, it looked like the Giants are shopping for a new quarterback after this year.
Nah. We all right.
But on that note, thanks for tuning into this week's episode. As you can see, NFL is also a great start, but be sure to let us know, what do you think? Are the Chiefs going to make the playoffs or they're not? Is Pat Mahommes finally figured it out, or is he going to turn around? We'll love to hear your opinion on that. And of course, always catch us on all socials at sports_cash_. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on your favorite platform to stay in tune with all previous and future episodes. Catch you next time.
Yep.